ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Shaira, we will start the session for today. There are two small topics. One is, let us start with the significance of Onam festival, which is stipulated for 31st, that is on Monday, and also coinciding with the Ananta Chaturdashi festival. And therefore, by Swami's prompting, first is let us wish all the people of Kerala a happy Onam festival, and with the happy Onam greetings to all the Sai devotees and all the people of Kerala. We will start today the significance of the Onam festival, particularly as has been described by Swami himself during his various discourses of Onam being performed in a very grand scale every year for the last 25 years or so with Prashanti Nilayam itself and even in his divine presence. And therefore, the characteristic of this Onam festival, it's a grand annual festival of Kerala, and it is a kind of harvest festival. And the Onam festival brings all the colors, history, culture, and its beliefs of Kerala together. The flower carpets called Pookalam and banquet lunches and flower carpets called Pookalam, banquet lunches, boat races, Puli Mali, and Kai Kottikali dance are all major attractions during Onam festivals in Kerala. And the major annual event being that a lot of people prepare a lot of dishes and make it a very grand event for 2-3 days. And it starts with the Tiru Onam. It's also called Tiru Onam, and it's also called Shravananotsavam. Both, it's called by both two names, Tiruvanam and also Shravananotsavam, Mahotsavam. It's a big Mahotsava. And therefore, this particular festival is attributed to Mahabali. As per the legend, Mahabali, who is also called Bali Chakravarti, who is the grandson of Prahlada, a great devotee, son of Hiranyakashipu, and Prahlada was a great devotee because of whom and whose prayers Sri Narsimha took an avatar and came and killed his wicked father, the Rakshasa Hiranyakashipu. And our Prahlada's son Virochana was also a good king, and Virochana's son is Bali, and he is called Sri Bali or Mahabali, and also called Bali Chakravarti. And this Bali Chakravarti also is a devotee of God Vishnu. Although he is a good virtuous person, but being a Rakshasa, and in order to occupy various territories, he also went and conquered the heavens, the regime of Indra. And because Indra is protected by all the devatas, at the request of all the devatas, Vishnu took an avatar as Shiva, Vamana. And Vamana is a small Vatu, a dwarf, a young, a short dwarf Vamana. And he comes to the yaga which Bali Chakravarti was doing. And the Bali Chakravarti was known for doing a lot of these charities. Whoever comes to him asking for alms or asking for any offerings or help, he would not say no. And this was his kind of great nature. And Vamana, knowing this, he comes and asks Bali Chakravarti that I want boons from you. And then gladly Bali Chakravarti agrees, thinking that what this small boy can ask. He asks for the 3 feet of land for him. And 3 feet of land is such a small one, nobody would mind. And particularly Bali Chakravarti thought, why not? He immediately granted it. Although his guru, Shukracharya, was trying to prevent him, since Shukracharya knew he was Vishnu himself. But altogether, he was prompted that he should give the whatever the boon that he had given. And therefore, accordingly, he agrees to sanction these 3 feet. And the Vamana grows in stature, grows to a goat Virata Sarupa, and he first, with 1 foot, he occupies the entire earth and the sky. Second, he occupies the entire lower lokas and the upper lokas. And then for the 3rd foot, there was no space. Everything was already occupied. And then Vishnu or Vamana asked Bali what to do, and Bali offers his head itself, saying that it is the place for your 3rd foot. And by that, the 3rd foot, when he places on his head, this is the greatest boon a God can give to any devotee, that putting his head on the head of his devotee. And that's what happened. And Bali Chakravarti is pushed to the nether loka called the Sura Loka. And one more thing, the boon he gives because of the devotion that Bali had, and given the entire kingdom, he lost everything and he was pushed to the nether land, and particularly to the Sura Loka. But he says, I will come and guard your entire kingdom. And therefore, as per the thing, the legend, Vamana, the avatar of Vishnu, goes and protects and goes on guarding the kingdom of Bali Chakravarti. And with one more boon, he gives to Bali Chakravarti that since it is said that Bali Chakravarti still continues to rule the entire kingdom on earth, as per the wish of Bali Chakravarti, to come and see his own subjects or the citizens, that he says on this particular day, is Onam day, is the birthday of Vamana, and also called Vamana Jayanti, and same time the Bali Chakravarti and Vamana both together come and appear and on the earth, and then they come and see all the people and who are having Subiksha. Subiksha is prosperity and bliss. And therefore, in Bali Chakravarti's Rajya, it is said everywhere, everybody was happy, prosperous, and blissful, and there was no person who was doing violence, and no person who was telling untruth, and there was nothing like any himsachara, atrocity, or anything. And therefore, that's why even today, like Ramarajya in the Ramayana, the Bali Chakravarti Rajya also is called the Dharmarajya, and not to see that he used to come. And also, it's a kind of a tradition that on this day, people, whatever they do the puja, afterward they put it in a small box and then they worship it, thinking that all that panam, whatever is kept in this box, will become wealth after the next day. And therefore, there is also a saying like that in the Bali Chakravarti's Rajya, how it was all prosperous. Similarly, the entire earth will become prosperous. And therefore, and similarly, Kerala is a blessed state. One is because of the Vamana and Bali. And there are 3 avatars of Vishnu took place in Kerala. That is Narasimha Avatara, Parshurama Avatara, and Sri Vamana Avatara. And therefore, that's why Kerala is described by Swami as God's own country. And hence, Vishnu, Vamana, guarding Sutaloka, Bali himself, comes out to Boloka and in order to see his subjects and all that. And therefore, this is how it becomes a practice. And then Emperor Bali became great not because he was an emperor. Several emperors have come and gone. He became great because he surrendered himself like Sharanagati to the Vishnu Vamana. And therefore, hence he was blessed. And that's why even today, Bali is one of the Chiranjeevis. That means Bali is not gone. Bali is Chiranjeevi. That means he still remains. And he comes. And that's why he visits. And today we are remembering him on the eve of the Onam, which is on Monday. So with this small description of Onam, and wishing all the again the Sai devotees of Kerala and also all the people of Kerala good prosperity and best wishes. And we move on to the next part of the session, that is remaining part of the Sundarakanda and going up to Ramapattabhisheka, which is quite a big chapter. And let us, with Swami's blessing, try to cover up as much as possible. And Sai. And going further, when we started Sundarakanda 2 weeks back or 3 weeks back, and we had left it the previous week because of Ganesh Utsava, and continuing with the Sundarakanda, we had noted that Sri Hanuman had come back after visiting Ashokavana and meeting Sri Sita Devi, and also bringing the Chudamani from her to give to Sri Rama. And Sri Rama welcomed him and gave him a Alingana Saukya, or the kind of loving embrace. And this one is explained by Sri Tulsidas, and he explains that saying that Raghupati Kini Bahuta Badai Suma Mama Priya Bharatahi Samabai. And he explains that he is equivalent to my brother Bharata. And also he says, and whoever worships Hanuman, remembering this, they will be rid of all the problems that they have. And therefore, in Hanuman Chalisa, this is very much described that Hanuman is such a capable devotee that he could do why not to please his master Sri Ramachandra. And then after this, the entire Sugriva's army of the Vanaras and all others who had assembled, they start for now crossing the sea, because now they know the destination. Since they know the destination now, they have to start crossing the sea. At least Hanuman was able to cross the sea and go. How about all the other people? And although Ramachandra, by being God, he was quite capable of doing or crossing anything. But having been born as a Manisha Avtara, he wanted to now see what to do. And then it was suggested that he goes and prays for the Samudra Raja to make way for them to cross the entire sea, all the people to cross it. And then he starts on what's called Nirashana Vrata, Ramachandra. And then also, by that time, Vibhishana, the third brother of Ravana, who is a good man, who after his advice to Ravana, since he does not yield to his advice, she says, it is better instead of staying in my brother's place, is also like an enemy's place. Instead of that, so-called enemy of my brother, Rama, is my great friend because he is dharmic. And therefore he comes and seeks protection of Sri Ramachandra. And Ramachandra being such a great person, that's what's called, he is able to give refuge to anyone. And to an extent, he even says, let alone Vibhishana. When somebody protested as to why are you giving protection to Vibhishana, tomorrow you may harm us. But Ramachandra says, not only Vibhishana, even your Ravana himself comes and seeks my protection. I will not say no. And that is called Sharanagata Rakshana. So that's why it's called Sharanagata Rakshana and Rakshaka. And he does that. And this Vibhishana Sharanagati is an important step in that. And after that, Vibhishana even suggests that he worships Shiva. And therefore, in that seabed, in the sand, Sri Ramachandra and prepares the Shivlinga. And then he makes the Abhishek and all that for the Shivlinga. And then that place, after the Shivlinga is worshipped, Shiva comes and blesses him. Although Rama and Shiva, Vishnu and Shiva are all the same forms of the same Trinity, but all sudden Shiva comes and blesses Rama and saying that you be victorious. And then he also says that now the King Sagara or the Samudra Raja will help you to cross the ocean. He will tell you what to do. And then this particular place worshipped by Shri Ramachandra and doing Abhisheka for Shri Shiva, he has become the Rameshwara. All of us know Rameshwaram, Dhanishkoti. They are great places in the southern tip of our India. And there, the Rameshwaram is also Dwadasha Jyotirlinga. And also it is believed whoever goes to Kashi, their pilgrimage is not complete if they do not come back to Rameshwaram and offer the holy water of Ganga, which they offer to pour it or Abhishekam to Kashi Vishwanatha, they come and do it at Rameshwara Ramanatha also. And therefore, this is the practice and the tradition. And now coming back from Rameshwaram onward, after that, when Sagara, this Samudra Raja is prayed for, Samudra Raja tells Rama that what can be done is you can't go against the nature because whatever the particles put into the water, it will have to go under that. Therefore, it cannot float. But only thing is suggested that Nala and Neela, the two Vanaras, from the Vanara side, they have got a boon, and as a kind of a curse become boon to them. That earlier, as they were children, they were going and throwing. The one Rishi was there. These Rishis, Saligramas, they were going and throwing. And because of that, he became very furious and gave them shapa. And therefore, that shapa was that whatever you spit and throw, it also will not go under and it will float on the water. That was given, and these people, both Nala and Neela, were the sons of Vishwakarma also, and they had the power of the Vishwakarma, and therefore, and they were told that if they take all the rocks and bandes, what we call the rocks, and put one rock and another rock together, touch it, and write Ra on one, Ma on another one, that Rama, Ra-Ma, therefore it becomes a cementing force, and therefore they go on putting it on the sea, and by God's mercy and grace and a great miracle, the stone does not go under the sea, it floats, and like this it goes on, joining one by one, the entire bridge is built. That's why it's called Nala Bridge, or even today it's called as Rama Setu. And even I am told satellite images are showing the proof of this, that's still seen under the sea from Rameshwaram and Dhanishkoti up to the Sri Lanka border. And then all the monkeys, Vararasena, along with Rama, Lakshmana, Sugriva and Hanumanta, everybody crosses the ocean and they're going to land there. And after the land, they send a message through Angara for Ravana. Because one message is to be sent that we have come, even now you have got time, you can surrender Sita Devi and you can protect yourself. But Ravana does not care, and the war starts, and the war will be a 10-day war. And it is a 10-day war. And in that first few days, there are some casualties on both the sides, and all the sons of Ravana come to battle, and except Indrajit, who is having got a lot of strength, except him, all other sons get killed. And then Ravana's brother, Kumbhakarna, who is a mighty person, but who had a boon come curse, that 6 months he will sleep, 6 months he will be awake, and therefore he has to be, 6 months he will go on sleeping, and even otherwise he will wake up only when he is woken up, if there is an emergency. And otherwise, in the remaining 6 months also, you just wake up, eat, and then he used to sleep. And that being the vara or the boon or the curse that he had. But Kumbhakarna also comes to war, and he could not do anything. He also gets defeated. And finally, Indrajit, the mighty son of Ravana, comes to the war. And Indrajit, what happens is, he has got a lot of powers and a lot of Maya Vidya also, and by which he tries to serpentine the Rama and Lakshmana by the Sarpa Bandhana. or the Nagapasha. And then through Garuda, when Garuda comes, the vehicle of Vishnu, he comes and he solves that and removes that Nagapasha and restores Rama and Lakshmana. And then after that, again, Indrajit, on the one day ultimate to the Ravana's coming to war, Indrajit says, now I will do one last act and I will put Lakshmana, because Lakshmana is very dearest to Rama. And then if I kill him, then Rama will become disappointed and he will go back. And then he puts that what they call Shakti, one weapon of Shakti weapon will be with Lakshmana, called Shakti, Shaktayuda. And using that, he puts him into a kind of a deep, deep prajna avastha, where he loses his prajna and consciousness. And then almost everybody thinks Lakshmana is already dead. But so the Vibhishana and Jambavanta, they come and see, and then they suggest that he is not dead because his pulse and other things are still all right. And if they can get Sushena from Lanka, and who has got he is the Rakshasa Vaidya, and if Sushena is brought, then he can come and cure him. And then to bring Sushena, Hanuman is sent to Lanka. Hanuman brings Sushena, and Sushena says that bringing this Sanjeevana, mountain or Sanjeevana leaf, that with that smell, then Lakshmana could be brought back to life. And only Hanuman could do it. Hanuman goes to the Himalayas and searches for the Sanjeevana, the tree, and then, since he could not spot out what it is, entire Sanjeevana mountain itself he lifts and brings it. And when he brings that Sanjeevana mountain and Sanjeevana leaf, by the smelling of that, Sushena brings Lakshmana back to life, and the war starts, and Lakshmana is able to go along with Hanuman and along with Vibhishana. He goes to Nikulimbila Yaga site, where Indrajit would be performing a great Nikulimbila Yaga. And if he had done it and completed it, nobody could conquer him. He had that powers. But Lakshmana spots him, calls him for war, and then all together, Hanuman, Lakshmana, and Vibhishana, then Lakshmana in the end kills Indrajit. And after Indrajit's death, Ravana becomes very worried how he comes next day and he also fights very hilariously. But all this valor is of no use because he was on the Adharma side. And Rama, then by the Aditya Hridaya of Agastya, the Aditya Hridaya is given to him by sage Agastya using the Aditya Hridaya. And one is the Amrita Kalasha in the navel of Ravana is broken. And because of Amrita Kalasha, nobody could kill him. And then afterwards he has 10 heads. That's why it's called Dashakanta. And therefore, Rama kills him. And one by one head all goes. And finally, Ravana is killed. And Mandolari is consoled. And then after the war is won, Ramchandra says that now he tells Hanuman, go and get Sita from the Ashokvana. And because Rama had said he will not enter any city until these 14 years is over. Therefore, Sita Devi is brought before Rama, and everybody had thought that Rama will rejoice and accept Sita immediately. But Rama had his own principles of dharma. And therefore, he wanted that Sita Devi, since she had stayed outside for nearly 10 to 11 months, outside the Pati's place, that she cannot be accepted like that. He asked her to go through the test of fire, the Agni Pariksha, and come out, Agni Pariksha, and then come out with Agni Pariksha, get purified. And also it is told that Sita was also a Vedavati, and also image of Sita was also being Ashokavana, and the real Sita was in the hiding. And therefore, both ways, it is an interpretation. Through this Agni Pariksha, Sita comes out pure, the Agni Deva brings her, and then Sri Ramchandra accepts her. And all of these people, then Vibhishana is coronated by Lakshmana as the king of Lanka, because this coronation earlier had taken place after Sharanagati itself. However, now it is fully completed, and Lakshmana going and completing the formality at Sri Lanka. And then after that, the Pushpak Vimana is given by Vibhishana for all of them to go to Ayodhya, because Bharata would be waiting, and Bharata had also said, if you delay even by a single minute after this 14 years, that he will end up his life. Since Bharata was waiting at Nandigrama, and all these people in Pushpak Vimana, they start, and Ramchandra accommodates everyone, whoever had come for the war. Everyone is taken in the Pushpavimana, and then on the way, he goes and explains to Sita Devi what are all the places they searched for her and all the things to Sita, since she did not know. They landed in Nandigrama, and Bharata is ready with his padukas, and then he gives it and surrenders himself to Sri Ramachandra and says, Ramachandra, now you have come back, you have to come and get coronated at Ayodhya. And therefore, all of them together, they enter Ayodhya, the great city. And we have seen now recently on the 5th of this month, the Ayodhya Sri Ramanam temple has been now inaugurated. The Bhumi Puja has been done, and Sri Ramachandra temple is going to be built after 500 years at Ayodhya. And similar now, Ramachandra's coronation takes place in a very, very grand manner, and Sri Ramachandra becomes the king of Ayodhya. And Sri Ramachandra, being a Maryada Purushottam, he gives equal powers to all his brothers, who also guards various things and guides. And therefore, this Ramarajya, the Ramachandras, whatever Rajya becomes Ramarajya. Ramarajya means always it is Satya, Satkarma Parakrama, Satya Karma Parayana. Everybody was Satya Karma Parayana. That means they were doing all proper things. Therefore, Satkarma Parayana, everybody was righteous, everybody was dharmic, everybody was non-violent, everybody had devotion of God. With this, a lot of prosperity was in Ramarajya, and everybody was happy. And with this happy note, and also present epidemic of corona, with hearing to Sundarakanda after this Rama Patabhisheka, the entire world would get rid of this epidemic, and the entire world will be again prosperous, like Sri Ramarajya, Sri Sai Ramarajya. Sai Ram, I think next speaker, Gopinath, will be waiting. I close this session with a small prayer to Swami and one small bhajan of Hanumanta.
Rama 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 Jaya Kodanda Rama 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 Jaya Kalyana Rama 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 Jaya Vaidehi Rama 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 Jaya Pattabhirama Rama 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 Jaya Atmabhirama Rama 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 Jaya Shri Sai Rama 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 Jaya Shri Sai Rama 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 Jaya Kodanda Rama.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram to all. With the humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan, the way Sri Ashwathanarayan sir has explained the glimpses of Onam as well as Sundarakanda, Ramayana, Ramcharitra, up to this Corona, how we will be able to remove that Corona by praying Swami. Sir Ashwathanarayan sir, I am very much thankful to you for explaining in detail.
Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram sir. Regarding when these people have started a great initiative of satsang from Sai Sparshan, I felt very happy that everybody, whenever opportunity comes, they will explain their experiences or sharing their experiences with Swami, with one or two people, not as a group. Previously, I used to share my experience with Praveen or Vinod, Prasad, Shankaran sir, sometimes with other Rohininath sir, like that. But as a group, it is an opportunity for me in sharing my experiences with Swami. Directly, I am not having any experiences with Swami, except having Padanamaskaram's whenever you do service at Puttaparthi, after having service at Puttaparthi, that some photos in 1990s are there, still there with me. That is the memories with me. And when coming to these experiences, I was born and brought up in a village where the population is less than 5,000 in 1964 in a teacher's family. My grandfather is a teacher, my father is a teacher, my uncle is also teacher. So in 1964 itself, we are having a Swami's photo in a remote village near Vijayawada, around 70 kilometers from Vijayawada. It is in coastal east coast near Machilipatnam. I don't know actually what is happening. At the age of, if I recollect that one, 6 years or 7 years, my sister's marriage was held. Elder sister's marriage was held in 68. And after that, during summer vacation, one day my father, one evening my father told me to get up early. So we have to go to Nagar Sankirtan. Previous night, generally parents used to visit Mandir. We were alone at home. So in summer, they thought that it is better to involve me also in the Nagar Sankirtan. So I got up early. By the time my father was ready at 4:30, my father and myself has gone to Mandir. That Mandir in 1970, 68, 70s, it is in a thatched house where it can accommodate more than 50 people with a Swami's photo, with the lighting, power, everything at that time. So after having Nagar Sankirtan, first day I didn't felt any change in my behavior, whatever it is there. After going for 1 week or 10 days daily, I thought that there is something is there in that. Visiting, having darshan of Swami, and participating in Nagar Sankirtan and bhajans. Every Thursday and Sunday, we usually go to Mandir for bhajans. It is a village. There is no education for majority of the people. Of course, my father also has not seen Swami directly by that time. Being a weak person, he could not able to travel more than 50, 60 kilometers at a stretch. So he has not visited Puttaparthi also. Whenever Swami comes in 1970s, sometime he used to visit Vijayawada to have darshan. At the time he had darshan. So without seeing Swami, what he experienced, I don't know. He has given me a property in the spiritual line. I can say that generally we will call it financial property or some ancestral property or whatever it is there in value terms. But it is more than that. The spiritual property he has given to me to involve by involving me in the bhajans, in Nagar Sankirtan. Of course, activities are not there much at the time. Only prayers are there. Service also not there. Even service to poor people is also not there. Only bhajans were there. That I can proudly say that he has given me a more, by involving me in that activities, he has given me more than property, financial property, that is dragging me into these spiritual lines. I am very much thankful to my father in this aspect. And from that time onwards, shifting to various places, studies, job, marriage, children, and in 1989, first time, my son at the time he has completed 3 years old. I heard that Swami is performing Ashrabhyasa to children. Then I thought that I am working in State Bank of India. So bank will give us an opportunity to visit places in the form of LFC. So in a car, I can use car also, engage car also, hire car also. So my father also, I thought that it is better to take him also along with me. My father, mother, my younger sister, and my family. All 5 people visited the Puttaparthi. Main aim is darshan of Swami for me directly. And second thing is 3-4 reasons are there. Second is to get the opportunity of performing of Ashrabhyasa to my son by Swami. Third is being a teacher, and he is also a poet, my father. He has written a Satakam, Sadhu Janula Bata Sai Mata, in the form of Satsai Satakam, we can call it. We will call it as Satsai Satakam. And he made it in 1975 in the hard copy. Since he didn't get opportunity to give it to Swami because of his weak health, I thought that it is better to give it to Swami in Puttaparthi. So with all these, my plan is only to stay for 2 days. People say that, is it possible to you to get all the things done in 2 days at Puttaparthi? Sometimes he will not see at you also. Sometimes he will go from far off place. It is your luck. That is what some people are telling. I had no interaction, I had no darshan previously directly with Swami. In 89 December, we had visited at Prashanti Nilayam at around 11 o'clock. Not 11 o'clock, it is 1 o'clock. By that time, canteen, South Indian canteen, old canteen is there. If devotees remember that one, old canteen is there in a shed. In front of that, one counter is there. There we had gone for lunch. People, they have given room in West Prashanti, West 1 or 2, something. And that time, we had given money to counter person, Swami devotee, who is giving tokens. He has given tokens and told us canteen is being closed. First, you have your lunch and then come back. I told him to keep this 50 rupees or 100 rupees, something it is there in my hand. No, you keep it with you, no problem, like that. First time I had seen what is this? What reliability he is having on us. He is telling you, please have your lunch and afterwards you can give money. I stunned like anything. Mesmerizing it is. How I had my lunch in South Indian canteen, I don't know. This boy is running here and there. And at last we have finished our lunch and came out. We had we paid that money, and by that time this room receipt is ready, and we occupied that room. And immediately they told that at 3 o'clock tokens will be given. So please be there by 2:30. So my son, being winter season, we could not be able to get him bath on that day. So my aim is for Ashrabhyasam, Darshanam, and this handing over of this book written by my father. These are my initial thoughts. That day, luckily, we got first line. At the time, Kulwant Hall is not there. Open place. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we were allowed inside the mandir. Mandir means that open place in front of this present mandir. Now it is covered by Sai Kulwant Hall. And very small gathering is there. Maximum, I feel that it is 100, 150 at the time. We got first line. Swami has come to us. I could not be able to see Swami. What a person. What really God is coming like this. What is shining? What a face. He is coming to us. We were at the corner place, luckily. We were coming to us. He came to us straight away. And my father got up. He has taken the book. And in the meantime, suddenly I thought this Ashrabhasam has to be performed by Swami. I am ready with the slate and pencil. At the time that black slates are coming and with pencil is there. But he is not seeing to us. His eyes are only on Father. And he has taken the book and had given Padanamaskaram's to Father. I am really stunned. He has given opportunity to my father. He has not given opportunity to me. Okay, not to me, okay. But what about my son? He has not given opportunity to my son for performing Ashrabhasa. I really felt jealousy on my father at that time. He is lucky enough. He had a Padanamaskaram and he was blessed by Swami. He has taken the book written by him, that 101 poems, Sadhu Janula Bata Sai Mata. After half an hour only, I came to normalcy. Okay, I am not supposed to feel jealousy. He is my father. How much he is having and experience he is having. And for how long he is there in Swami's line. For 30, 40 years he was there in Swami's line. After that 40 years only, he had the opportunity to get Padanamaskaram from Swami. I am very young at that time, 25 years age. So I am having another 30, 35 years of life maybe. Let us see. Swami will someday will give us an opportunity also. Let us see. Wait for some time. After half an hour only, I came to normalcy on thinking all these things. So we had a darshan, very good darshan, excellent darshan, memorable darshan on that day. And bhajan was over. Harati we have taken from outside. And one person from my native place is staying there at Puttaparthi at that time. He saw as my father. He has recognized my father. While he is giving his book to Swami, he is staying outside. Outside means outside Prashant Nilayam. But every day usually come to darshan for of Swami in the evenings only. He came to darshan and he is not sitting in the lines. He is staying outside that wall. So he has really recognized my father and he told him that when you came after having bhajan, till bhajan he was waiting for us. And he told us, sir, we are staying in a small house here. Big houses are not available. Where you are staying? Tomorrow morning, you please come to our house. Okay, next day morning, as usual, we had darshan. We got some third line or fourth line like that. Swami has come, had darshan. Some disappointment is there in my mind. Whether our planning is to move from Puttaparthi to my native place because of job the next day. Whether we will be able to get chance or not. After having bhajan and breakfast, we had gone to his house. During discussions, we told that this boy, due to winter season, at that time in Puttaparthi, we used to get only cold water, not hot water. Our four people, my father, five people, my family, my parents, and my sister had done bath everything, but we didn't dare to get bath to my son with cold water because it will affect his health. We know his health. So we had gone there, and during discussions we told him. So all these three, whether it will be happened or not, whether Swami will do this or not, we are supposed to leave tomorrow afternoon. Like that, during discussions he told, you have not performed a bath for him. First we will do that one. Immediately his wife has arranged for that hot water. Within 5 minutes his bath completed. As usual, we came to a room, we had lunch, and again for darshan. Again, luckily, in very corner place, we got a seat with the Swami's blessings. First line, Swami came straight to us, Swami Ashrabhyasam, praying. Before that one incident, at the time foreigners are more in Puttaparthi, everybody must be aware of that one. On seeing those foreigners, being a very angry person, never seen like that, my son used to cry. We are unable to convince him. So we have taken some chocolates like that with us to convince him, to console him, but he is not listening. So he was sent to my wife, that lady's separate line. He is staying with my wife. There also he is crying. Because on seeing his face, these foreigners, everybody used to come to him, kiss to him. His name is Sairam. That also another incident. Everybody, we used to call Sairam each other. We got little bit confusion there at that time, whether they are calling me or calling him, calling her or calling him. When I got the first line, I had gone there to bring him to my gents line, gents side, so that if Swami considers or our request, we will get the opportunity. Then I have gone to that lady's side. When I tell, please call Sairam, Sairam means Sairam what? His name is Sairam. It took 5 minutes for them to understand. So then I told my wife's name. Then they have gone inside and he came to me. He is not in a position to be consoled. Crying, 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 and all these foreigners are behind him to kiss him, to touch his hands, to touch his cheek, whatever it is there. He is crying, starting crying. Chocolates, 5-10 chocolates are there, all are over. So, Vinod, I think it is. Can I continue for 5 minutes up to this? Hello? Vinod? Hello?
Sairam uncle.
Can I continue for another? Hello?
Please.
Sairam uncle, you can continue for another 5 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you, Sairam. So, he was here with me, and Swami came to us, has taken the slate, and has written Om. After this slate was taken by Swami, I got tears in my eyes. At last, I got the opportunity. Not only me, being a kid, he got the opportunity to be blessed by Swami by performing his entire career, educational career or life, whatever it is there, with the Swami's hands. So that memorable incident we will never forget. We came out. The person who has given us an opportunity for his bath, everything, he is seeing from outside whether Swami will come, will do this Ashrabhyasam. Today morning they are all the way they came here. Puttaparthi is around 750 kilometers from my native place. It is in Anantapur district, my native place in Vijayawada, Krishna district, the other side of the now present Andhra Pradesh capital. All the way 700, 800 kilometers, these people came, whether Swami will perform this Ashrabhyasam or not. He is eagerly waiting. I got tears, and immediately I forget to take his Padanamaskaram during this Ashrabhyasam. Then Swami himself told, take Padanamaskaram. He has given a signal with his hand, take Padanamaskaram like that. Then I realized I didn't get this thought in my mind. I am seeing at his face and performing all this thing. It is a memorable incident for me. So another issues are also there. For the time being, after that we came to our place. At this stage, I will conclude this session, and if time permits, next week or another say anybody is there to give this experiences, share their experiences. After some time, I will share my experiences from this end. Sairam to all. Sairam to Sai Sparshan youth who has given me an opportunity for sharing of my experiences. Sairam to all. Thank you.
Sairam uncle. Thank you very much.
Sairam.
Sairam.